History is significant because it constantly serves as a reminder of how history can influence the present and the society in which we live, whether that society is a family, country, culture, religion, or some other historically organized group. The way we interpret history affects how we perceive the present, how we see the world, how we interpret reality, and how we perceive our own futures. To engage with and comprehend the world around us, it is essential to have a thorough awareness of how history influences the present and the future. Today, we will be looking into some of the most important times in history that changed our society. Welcome once again to the channel. If you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get notifications of all our upcoming videos. Now, without further ado, let's get started.
This is Techtastic.
Number 10. Medical Revolution, 19th to 20th century. Go ahead. We'll wait while you try to envision a future without doctors or modern medicine. Yeah, that was pretty spooky. It's hard to imagine that, even with our better understanding of human anatomy, ailments were once believed to be the result of demonic spirits or to be God's wrath against sinners. Louis Pasteur's contributions helped the germ hypothesis of illness gain widespread recognition, which paved the way for the discovery of numerous infectious disease treatments in the 19th century. Smallpox and other dreadful illnesses like polio and rabies were both eradicated from the planet thanks to the development of vaccinations. As cities' populations grew and regular cleanliness became necessary, public health regulations were passed. In 1928, Alexander Fleming created penicillin, the first true antibiotic, which was successful in treating many fatal bacterial diseases. The age of modern medicine was ushered in by these advancements, as well as those in technology, chemistry, and biology. Number 9. American Revolution, 1765 to 1783. Although some people might believe that the American Revolution solely had an impact on the United States, the war's aftershocks can still be felt today. The revolutionaries who fought for the 13 colonies' independence from Britain fought for Enlightenment ideals against the monarchy and became a symbol of rebellion against authority, eventually creating a country that today is the only superpower and has a significant impact on much of the world. The conflict not only gave birth to the United States, but it also spread the notion that everyone is created equal and deserves to be treated fairly. Even though many felt that the American Revolution's lofty democratic rhetoric fell short, particularly in light of the property requirements for holding office and voting, the ineligibility of women for these positions, the continuation of slavery, and so on, the American Revolution still had a significant impact on the next 2 centuries. The French Revolution and other revolutionary revolutions all over the world were made possible by it. The democratic and republican principles of Thomas Jefferson are still read and studied today. The opinion that the American Revolution was among the most important moments in our history is supported by the fact that its effects are still felt today. Number 8. Renaissance, 14th to 17th century. If you mention names like Raphael, Michelangelo, and Leonardo da Vinci, you'll get a sense of just how much the Renaissance gave to the globe. It was the last stage of the transition from the Middle Ages to the modern era, and one of the most culturally and architecturally significant times in world history. After the Black Death, civilization began to rise again, and the Renaissance helped this happen by eradicating illiteracy and fostering the development of astronomy and mathematics. When books were originally printed, everyone could read whenever they wanted, previously the domain of priests and monks. Literature, art, and science all made great strides. As humanity eventually discarded the notion that the Earth was the center of the universe, world maps were created and new civilizations were found. Great thinkers questioned established beliefs and traditions during the Renaissance. The anti-feudal, secular, humanistic nature and philosophy of Renaissance culture were its most defining characteristics. The modern period had just begun, and it was a time of waking. Number 7. Colonialism, 16th to 20th century. The colonial era had a lasting impact on history that cut across all continents and periods. Several European nations established colonies in Africa, Asia, and the Americas starting in the 16th century. The first great empires were the Spanish and Portuguese, who were soon followed by the British, the French, Dutch, and Russian empires, and later by Belgium, Germany, and Italy. The colonial era caused the world to be divided between them and led to the exploitation of third world nations. Millions of people died as a result of colonialism, which saw European countries brutalize the natives, mostly through private enterprises, with the support of their monarchs for their civilizing missions. Colonialism also caused changes in culture, language, society, and economics on many continents. After the two world wars, anti-colonialist movements gained momentum, and several of these nations would achieve independence. However, it wasn't until Portugal handed Macau to China in 1999 that the colonial era was formally over. Number 6. World War II, 1939 to 1945. Nearly every country on Earth participated in the global fight that saw the Allies defeat the Axis powers, which turned it into the bloodiest war in human history with an estimated 50 to 80 million casualties. It tore apart every race, religion, culture, and nation with fronts in Europe, Africa, and Asia. Millions of men, women, and children were murdered or annihilated, including 11 million people during the Holocaust. The Spanish Civil War, the Japanese invasion of China, the Italian invasion of Ethiopia in 1935, or when Britain and France declared war on Germany after the invasion of Poland in 1939, are all considered possible starting points for the Second World War. Whatever the starting point, World War II altered the course of history, bringing an end to the age of European empires, the birth of the United Nations, and the start of the Cold War. Number 5. October Revolution, 1917. When the Russian Empire's revolutionary movement ousted the Tsarist autocracy, the first successful socialist revolution had begun. Later, Vladimir Lenin's Bolsheviks launched a second revolution, toppling the provisional government. The overthrow immediately led to the creation of the Russian Socialist Federative Soviet Republic, the first self-declared socialist state in history, and the start of the Russian Civil War. In 1922, after the Socialist Red Army defeated the monarchist and capitalist White Army, the USSR, or the Soviet Union, was formally created. The October Revolution influenced the outcome of World War I and helped pave the way for World War II, the rise and fall of fascism, the spread and eventual collapse of communism, the Cold War, and even decolonization. It also served as an inspiration for numerous other uprisings in the years to come, including the communist revolutions in Cuba, Vietnam, China, Germany, Hungary, Mongolia, and many other nations. Number 4. The 9/11 terrorist attacks, 11th September 2001. There had previously been infrequent terrorist assaults in the US, but the US and the rest of the world were horrified by the sheer daring and scope of these terrorist strikes. A little fewer than 3,000 lives were thought to have been lost. The incident altered US foreign policy. It served as the impetus for the contentious invasion of Iraq, which sparked a discussion about the morality of torture and the declaration of a war on terror symbolized by Guantanamo Bay. Number 3. COVID-19 pandemic of 2020. China saw an outbreak of the novel virus COVID-19 in late 2019 or in early 2020. Although the virus had a 1 to 4% fatality rate, it propagated at an alarming rate. Italy was the first Western nation to institute a lockdown in March of 2020 in an effort to slow the virus's quick spread. Global lockdowns, with people confined to their homes and businesses closed, quickly followed. Despite travel restrictions, the virus spread to every nation on Earth. The world economy was severely harmed by this lockdown, which resulted in a high increase in unemployment and a decline in output. It also called into question the conventional wisdom about the invulnerability of developed Western nations. Although the pandemic's long-term effects are unknown, They will cause structural changes in the global economy and the balance of power. As the world's top manufacturer, China is both viewed as the virus's source and a crucial participant in the production of equipment to deal with the crisis. Number 2. Atomic bomb Hiroshima, August 6, 1945. Hiroshima and Nagasaki were completely destroyed by the US atomic bombs in 1945. The destruction led to the Japanese giving up, ending the bloody and expensive Pacific War. Japan's surrender was once thought to be unimaginable. However, the atomic bomb accelerated Japan's capitulation. Beyond only bringing about the Second World War's end, the atomic bomb had wider effects. It demonstrated to everyone the potential destruction that a Third World War may bring. The world is still plagued by the effects of Hiroshima and the prospect of nuclear war. Number 1. French Revolution, 1789 to 1794. The impact of the French Revolution on world history cannot be overstated. In addition to helping capitalism defeat feudalism and establishing the foundation for the modern world as we know it, it also paved the path for worldwide revolutions and revolutionary reforms. The period of intense social and political upheaval that took place during the French Revolution and the Napoleonic Wars that followed had an enormous effect on the entire world, not just on France or Europe. It will always be known as the incident that put an end to feudalism and sent shockwaves throughout the world, completely altering societal institutions. There was a lot of suffering and starvation once the French treasury was depleted, which was made worse by funding and supplying the American Revolution, which inflamed people's resentment of the monarchy. The storming of the Bastille, the guillotine, and Robespierre's enormous personality are among the famous images of the revolution. The idea of the Republic was popularized by the French Revolution, and soon after that, revolutionary France was forced to engage in conflicts with the rest of Europe in order to survive. It provided the framework for Napoleon Bonaparte's overthrow and the conflicts that ensued, which spanned every continent and popularized the Napoleonic Code, the corps system for the military, which replaced hired troops, and the idea of total war. The French Revolution is without a doubt the most significant historical event of the modern age, and more than any other, the historical event that changed the globe for all time due to its very existence, as well as the global historical and social alterations that it sparked. With that note, we come to the end of our video, guys. Which important historical event do you think changed the world forever? What is your opinion on the same? Do let us know in the comments down below. And if you like our work, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.